Okay, I think I'm back. I didn't realize. Trying troubleshooting live on air. Hi everyone. Let's just repeat once again what I have said a couple of minutes ago when no one saw it. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to my Banter Blitz shows. It's Banter Blitz with Miss Strategy, aka Anna. That is me. Today is a Miss Strategy, Miss Tactics Day because Sopika also had a Banter Blitz session just a few hours ago. I hope that you had the chance to play against her and to tune into her very instructive and very well explained show. She always does an amazing job. So today I will try to do 50% as well as Sopika did. Let's go for it. We have no time to waste since we started a little later and today I have 2 streams to do. So let's go for the first challenge. Premium members always get priority. I'm gonna go and see who else wants to play. If not, Claudia. Claudia is always my first opponent. I set up the stream with Claudia. I like her a lot. Okay, I'm gonna mix things up as usual. I try to not pick anyone on purpose, but I will, of course. Wait, I can't. Oh, okay. I was like, I can't click on accept because first I should abort the game. I'm sorry, Claudia, but next time we will play a longer game, not just a one move game. Okay, now I can. Whoa, what am I doing? 3 minutes? I went crazy. Okay, for next time, please challenge me with increment. Okay, 3 plus something or 5. Hello, Maryland, nice to meet you. But please, guys, challenge me with increment if you want me to be instructive and explain everything I can. I need increment because I will lose on time. I'm gonna play the Spanish, the Rui Lopez. Next challenges with increment, or at least a 5 minute game. 3 minutes is just very short for me if I don't have increment. So I'm playing this D3 setup. I like it a lot. I played it a couple of times already on the stream. I guess you have realized it if you are a regular. Welcome to the show. Hi once again to everyone. Now I can see you guys. My video was not live, but now I am live. Actually, I don't know what was the reason, but here I am, and I have more time on the clock. Maybe I shouldn't celebrate too early. I should not celebrate too early, but this is a big deal for me that I have more time on the clock. B4, giving me the C4 square. I'm gonna go for the c4 square now that you are offering the square for my knight. I want my knight on c4 and then develop my bishop. I'm not in a rush developing this c1 bishop because I was not yet sure where I want it, whether I want to play bishop g5 or bishop e3, but I am pretty sure that I want my knight on c4. So that's why I'm changing the move order. Yes, 5 or 4 plus 2, that's fine. Even 3 plus something, a couple of seconds, just 3-0 is really short for me because I want to explain everything I can. Challenge me for anything that's more than just 3 minutes without anything. So I will accept any of those challenges. That's my only request. Okay, maybe I was too much in a hurry with knight c4. I could have played an h3 before, and I think I should have played h3 first because now I don't like the fact that he wants to take on f3 and then play knight d4. Let's prevent knight d4 by pushing c3, but yeah. Thinking back, I would say that I could have played h3 first and then there wouldn't have been any threat with bishop g4 ever in the position. Now I had to open the b file and such, so that's why I was not so happy about it. He's threatening to take on f3 and my bishop on b3 would be hanging. Let's move it away. It's not the nicest place, but in the future I might push d4 and then the e4 pawn is well protected. Okay, he's playing well, he's playing active. That's what he should do. And how shall I react to this? Not clear. Not so clear. But I should be faster, that's all I know. What's wrong with my microphone? Don't you guys like the microphone? Can take back with the f-pawn or the bishop, but if I take with the f-pawn and then he takes on e4, it's a little weird for my pawn structure. Yeah. Yes, my opponent is very aggressive. He really wants to beat me. But I will not let him. I'm not nice anymore. I'm not nice anymore. I have more time. Knight h5. Well, yes, you're annoying my bishop, but your knight on h5 is not gonna be nice, so I'll drop back to d2. Queen f6 you want to play probably. Yeah, I'm not very comfortable with my position, but I can win on time. Yeah, knight e5 is better. How did I spoil my position so badly? Yeah, not happy. Anna is not happy with the position. My king side is going to be destroyed. I'm not happy at all. What I'm supposed to do here? I can't even... This is painful. This is a painful position. Actually, I underestimated knight h5 completely. I had to go to g3 with the bishop. Now it's too late. How can I bail out? Is there a way to bail out? This is horrible. My position is very bad. My position is just very bad. Let's sacrifice a queen. Let's make it fun. I decided that if I cannot bail out, I'm gonna sacrifice my queen for 2 minor pieces. Let's go crazy. Let's go crazy. So yeah, that pin was horribly annoying. I will show you after the game the variations I was calculating. Obviously, this is just very bad. But I have some chances if I can speed up. Now both the queen and the knight is hanging. He has to play a move like queen c5. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I should play faster. I want to bring a rook to c1 and threaten with things. It's not so easy actually when you have 2 active minor pieces to win with a queen up. He still has to work. Okay, g6, knight takes e4. I've just stepped into that. I can take on e4. And my knight on c4 is hanging. I will pre-move this because I was pretty sure he would play it. And now what I'm supposed to do. This is just very bad, but we don't have time. None of us. He's as slow as I am, which is great. That's at least great news, that he's very slow as well. And he's giving me free stuff. I have pre-moved one thing, incredible. I lost on time. Okay. By the end of the game, I had the rook and the piece. But this was a very bad start for me. Let me show you guys what I thought of. Congratulations, Maryland. Well played. I actually got into trouble here in the opening. I told you guys that I would have preferred to prevent the pin with h3. Knight c4 was too much in a hurry. I should have played h3, preventing bishop g4, and next move I go knight c4, bishop e3. Everything is comfortable. Now instead of that, I went knight c4 immediately, and things become uncomfortable here because my opponent is threatening to take here. I can't take back with the queen because the bishop on b3 would be hanging. So I decided to move the bishop, but after d5, black takes the initiative. I still shouldn't be lost, of course, but these positions are very annoying because in worst case, black will take here and double my pawn structure. So it's already not ideal for white. Now what I did, trying to chase away this piece, perhaps here I should have realized that I'm getting into trouble and take back with the f-pawn, because that means that at least my rook is protecting the knight. So this was a moment for me to deal with this very ugly pawn structure. I have doubled pawns on the e5, isolated doubled pawns, and the c3 pawn is also isolated, and the a4 pawn. So my pawn chain is ugly and bad and weak, but at least I'm protecting this knight, because my whole problem was because of this pin and the knight not being protected. What happened in the game was worse for me, because after d4, takes, bishop f4, I completely underestimated knight h5. I thought that this move is bad because the knight will be misplaced on h5. I didn't realize that black is threatening knight e5 right after I move the bishop away. Knight e5, and I think I'm pretty lost here in this position. I cannot move the queen away because black will take on f3 twice. If I want to move, for instance, let's say king h1, queen f6, black can put even more pressure on the f3 knight, and he's gonna take on f3. I don't have any piece that can protect this knight. This is a horrible position. One way I could try to protect it is by playing queen e2, and if queen f6, bishop to d1, but this is just extremely bad. I'm pretty sure that I'm lost immediately, whether by capturing or playing, perhaps rook b2 is the strongest here. Now black is threatening to take on f3 and the d2 bishop would be hanging. I'm all pinned up on the second rank, on this g4 diagonal, on the d1 h5 diagonal with the g4 bishop, I was going to say. So this is completely lost. Completely lost. I don't need to turn on the engine to tell me that this is lost because I'm sure about it. So this is horrible. And therefore I decided to sacrifice the queen, which is, I think, interesting. This is a practical tip to anyone in a lost position. Try to create some kind of a complication. This was bad. And yeah, I agree, Zucker Twinger. Bishop d2 was the last mistake. Here, my last chance was to play bishop to g3, because the bishop from here at least protects the e5 square. If the white bishop is taken, I can take back with the f pawn once again, and the rook will be protecting the knight. In this position, I think black would play queen f6, threatening to double my pawns, but it's much better than the game. I agree with you. I agree with everyone suggesting bishop to g3. I had to play it. This was the only chance for me to keep the bishop on that diagonal, but I didn't realize how dangerous black's position was after retreating with the bishop. Knight e5, white is lost. I'm sure about that. So I just went for this practical position, and that's what I was telling you guys, that yeah, here black is a queen up, but white has still two minor pieces, and more importantly, a pair of bishops. Pair of bishops can be very annoying. So even though I stepped into this, I even lost this pawn and such, in a blitz game, this could have gone, well, no, I should lose as white because the position is lost, but practically you have a lot of chances in a blitz or bullet game. So that's just a practical tip. But Maryland, you played very well, and that bishop g4 pin was incredibly annoying. Bishop d2 was a big mistake from my part. Let's go for a new challenge because I want to improve on this. This was not a good game. Okay, Zucker Twinger was actually very active in the chat, and I want to show my appreciation by accepting your challenge now. Zucker Twinger, I'm sorry. Zucker. It's a 5-minute game, all right. Guess the opening. Yes, the French defense. Yeah, the French defense, especially today that I'm wearing this Parisian thingy hat. Pin and win was the point. Yeah, I agree, Easy Rider. That was the theme of the game, pin and win. Yeah, Maryland, you blundered in the end, but you played very well the whole game basically, and you only blundered in the time trouble, so you should be proud of yourself for the game. If you want to ask me questions not related to the game, I'm gonna be very confused because I'm trying to play faster. So if you can keep the questions to what we see on the board, I do appreciate that. I'm confused now by bishop takes f6. That's not the normal move. e5 is the normal move for white. So now I'm thinking, what is it that white wants here? Bishop d3, e5 setup. Do I want to castle kingside? Do I want to wait with castling? These are my thoughts. I will take here since he has given me the bishop, and then in worst case I can come back to e7 if I want to, or allow the trade. Do I want to allow the trade? Maybe. Maybe. If it brings my knight to f6, then I will allow it. Yeah, you guys can always ask any questions actually, just I might not be able to read it because I'm trying to play faster. This is my objective for all these games, to play faster. I'm trying to speed up, but the first game was not a proof that I'm doing well in that. I've got more time now, but is this with increment or without? If it's without increment, I still need to play faster. Guys, you must remember the number of times I have lost on time. So this is a challenge for myself for this week. If you follow me on social media, you probably know that I stream every day now. I'm on my own channel on Twitch, and this is a challenge for myself to play better and faster, because I have lost so many painful games because of the time situation. So now, sorry, I just got a message about the setup, but I think everything is working now. So I should focus on the game. G5 is a threat. Do I want to play G6 and hide my bishop on G7? After G6, he will take on F6, but then the F3 knight is hanging. So yeah, I will go for G6. Okay, I think this should be good. Not the position, I mean, but the setup, because now I'm looking at the technical issues, if everything is alright. H5 is a threat, but with the bishop on G7, my king is pretty safe still. F5, knight G5, I'm looking at if I have any tactics, or is it just white that's attacking. E5 is another option. F5, knight G5. No, I don't see much there. It looks weird. H6, knight E6. I'm gonna start with this. But F5 was definitely a critical moment. If knight G5, if black has anything there with the knights tangled up. G5. Interesting. Was not expecting that move exactly. Alright. I'm gonna take here. Play in the center. It's a free pawn for now. He might want to play H6. I will drop back with the bishop to H8. I'm controlling that diagonal, so that's important. I think he should open the H file. But you can't get both. You can't get your pawn on H6 and open the H5, so he has to decide which one is more important for him. I think yes, white has a good position, active pieces, initiative, and it's opposite side castling. I have taught you guys about this in the Miss Strategies middle game shows. In opposite side castling, the time factor is so important. Who arrives first, who gets the chance to attack first, and that's certainly white who is doing well in getting that initiative. He's way ahead in the attack. Now bringing the queen to H4, he wants to then open the H file and give mate on H7. Very logical play. I should do something about it. Now what is that something? Can I go F5? If he takes, knight takes. My king is very loose in that position, but maybe I have to do that. Let me think. Okay, maybe with the bishop on G7, I shouldn't be that right. This is unpleasant. You guys know that I'm not so happy when my king is under attack. I'm trying to bail out, but maybe it's too much if I push F5 takes, knight takes. It's either good or it's very bad, because well, F5, bishop C4 check, king H8, and he takes on G6. No, it's very bad. I can't push the F pawn. If I can't push the F pawn, then I should create some space at least for my king. Right? How do I do this? It's gonna take there. Okay, I will try to just simply bring the knight to F8 in case he plays queen H4. I have knight F8 in that position. So once he takes on G6 and opens the H file, I'm protecting the H7 square with the knight from F8, and the H8 square is protected by the bishop on G7. It's not an ideal position, not an ideal setup. I might be just immediately lost after knight F6 in that position. So yeah, I probably can't even move knight F8 because knight F6 is a big threat. If you can follow my calculation, queen H4, knight F8, knight F6 check after taking on G6. So move by move. Queen H4, knight F8. Okay, I cannot repeat it because my opponent has made a move. I will then protect the F7 square. The E4 knight was hanging, but I couldn't calculate so quickly if actually I could take it or not. Okay, now he wants me to take and then queen H4, but that's not mate. So I'll take here and then I want to take on E4 if he plays queen H4. Yeah, so the knight is hanging all the time. Why did I not take it with the bishop? Yeah, that was probably... I don't know. But the king was so loose. sometimes even that piece sacrifice. I will check it after the game. With 1 minute on the clock, I really didn't want to calculate whether I'm getting mated there or not. And now I can't take it anymore, which is, of course, the right thing. My opponent is playing well. What shall I do? Knight f6 is a threat. My queen would be hanging. I can't move the queen far away because of the f7 pawn. This position is really problematic. Knight e5, knight f6 check. I'm afraid of. I'm very afraid of that. Yeah, that would be a lost position for me. But hey, why am I still worried about taking here? I can take at least once with the bishop. And even if he gets it back... Okay, yeah, I can't take on e4 because of queen f7 mate. This I understand. But now, at least I have traded that knight, which I was worried about. I was worried about knight f6 in every position. So even like this, I have to place my queen on f8. So I can't take on e4. I can't. And yeah, time. I should play faster too. It's no increment. No, today is not the day when I play very fast, right? Okay, I'll try my best. I will bring the queen to g7 if queen h4. But I only have 18 seconds and my opponent a minute. No, this is not good time management. Actually, now I start to like my position. I think I have protected everything. I simply have no time. I'm threatening to take on d4. He can't move the knight because of bishop b2. He has to play c3, but then probably I'm gonna go c5. I just have no time. That's the only issue. How many moves can I make in 17 seconds? Any bets? Any bets? Please think more. Zwinger, I want you to think more. I want this game to be somewhat more balanced in terms of the time situation. Because I have just no time at all. I have no time. And I don't like that. Okay. Knight c5 was my other idea, but I just have no time to think which one is better. So I made one move. He's also low on time. So yeah, we are even. We are even, it's an even game. No time for anyone. It's a fair game. Queen d7, but I'm gonna take here first, then come back here. I have more time, and I have protected everything. I won on time, what on earth? Okay, this game was incredibly strange. Zwinger, you were completely crushing me in this opposite side castling position. You played very brave. You just went for it. You went for the pawn storm that I always preach about. You sacrificed the d pawn. And here, I'm not getting mated immediately, but it looks just so suspicious. So in this moment, after bishop c4, yeah, I can take on e4, but then he takes on f7. I'm pretty sure I'm getting mated there. So look at this, for instance, either with the rook or bishop. If I allow queen f7, then h takes g6, I'm getting mated. There's just no way I can take on e4. So I played queen e7, takes on g6. Now I once again can't take. I don't have time to take on e4. Rook e1, I trade here. I can't take here because it's mating 1 after queen f7. Queen f8. So yeah, it's passive. This is very passive for black, but at least pieces are getting traded. I was happy about bishop takes e4 for this reason, because in every position, if I don't trade that piece, there's always this very annoying knight f6 check, and if I have to take here with the bishop, if I'm forced to at some point, I'm gonna get mated for sure. Queen h4. With the pawn on f6 and the open h5, there's just no way that you can survive this. Your king is dead. This is when you can resign. Don't resign immediately, but yeah, you're dead lost if your opponents get the pawn on f6 and the h file is open. Often it's even just enough to have the pawn there. But luckily for me, I had time to eliminate this knight, so we traded. And another trade, and trades are good for me because I'm the one who has a weak king. So the more pieces we trade, the better for me. No, it was not a good game, but thank you, Cobra. I don't know why the highlights, why is it that it's highlighting everything? And here, this was just a question of time management. Zwinger, if you had started playing faster, I had 17 seconds in this position, and you had over a minute. So really, I think here, if you just thought of the time situation, and even if you blunder something, I have 17 seconds for the whole game and you have more than a minute. So here really, I think you started worrying that you don't have mate, and I understand that feeling because you had a very promising attack. At the same time, in a blitz game, you should be very practical. Yes, the initiative and the advantage has slipped. You don't have a winning attack anymore, but you have more time, which is a winning factor. So here you had to play for the time factor and not the position so much. You played good moves, but too slow. This was too slow. And from here on, well, now this is just equal. I'm threatening queen f4 and then take on g5. And like this, I take the pawn with a check. So thanks for the game, Zwinger. You played very well. You should be happy about how you played. Simply, next time when you see your opponent is lacking time, use it as a factor. It's part of the game, and I would have just simply admitted that I lose on time because I had 17 seconds. So yeah, in the final position there was bishop f7. Yes, probably it is a good idea, but even if white can take, I assume that I can't take, of course, with the king because of rook h7, so it's a good idea. And in case we trade, this is the idea of you guys, I'm pretty sure of that. But this is not bad anymore for black, because, well, I can go for the f-pawn, I can give a check and then check again and take the pawn. Or I can, in worst case, I can play rook e7. So here it is certainly not white who is playing for a win. It could have been a draw, also moves before, but I think this was not about the position anymore. This was about white having to play much faster so that he could have won on time. Time is part of the game. Oh, you play correspondence chess, Zwinger. I understand that. I also prefer when I have time to think. I like the classical time control. I don't play correspondence, but I do enjoy when I have an hour and a half for the first 40 moves and then half an hour more, so that I'm a very classical player and I love having time to think. So this for me is too short as well. But you played a very good game, so take it as a game there where you outplayed me in the middle game. You played very well this position with the kingside attack. Simply, you should be practical when you play blitz. For the next one, you will play faster and you will flag me. I'm pretty sure of that. I will go for the next challenge without further ado. Okay, if I can click. Did I click? I think I clicked on one. Kasparov student, hi. Oh, I'm white. I was waiting for my opponent to make a move. Are you here with us, Kasparov student? Kasparov student, are you with us? If not, I will have to go for a new game. Okay, guys, I'm afraid that Kasparov student is not with us, and I will have to go for a new challenge. Okay, sorry about this, Kasparov student, but if you don't make a move, I will have to go for the next challenge. I will play against you next time. I don't know what happened to your connection. Next challenge. Baucholi from Germany. Oh, so the name's Bauch-Oli. Nice to meet you, Oli. Kasparov student is phoning his teacher for help. I'm not sure. I think for now, from what you saw in the previous two games, all that the teacher would need to tell you is play fast and you will win on time. What's happening to my opponents? Is this working at all? Guys, do you see I make a move? I'm pretty sure that I have made e4. Okay, I don't know. Nobody wants to play against me. Don't be scared. I mean, I won one game. It's not the end of the world, right? No one wants to play against me. Let's go for a new challenge. Where are you guys? Where's everyone? Where's everyone? Okay, new challenge. Cobra, are you here? e4. Fingers crossed. Yeah, Cobra is here. All right. I also saw you in the chat, so I wanted to pick your challenge. As I mentioned, I like to play against those of you who are active participants in the chat. This is a side variation of the Caro-Kann with knight f6. Bishop f5 in this position. Did I have to? No, I don't think so. I'm talking to myself now. I'm trying to figure out if this move order makes a difference. As I thought that usually black develops first, the dark squared bishop and castles very quickly. But I might be mixing things up. I'm trying to play against as many of you guys as I can. Of course, it's always appreciated if you are, as I said, if you are an active member in the chat, and premium members always get priority as well. So that helps if you're a premium member. I'm thinking, what's the ideal piece setup? Well, just because of the previous game and such, I will make this move first. I know that my opponent was not going to go for bishop g4 immediately, but you know, when you have this bad feeling after one game, you just want to avoid similar positions. No, more begging, more chances, I don't think so. I don't like people who beg for games. Please don't do that. If your comments are instructive, if you are a nice member of the chess community, then you have a good chance of getting picked. This doesn't mean that I can pick all of you who are nice. I wish I could. But I will be back for more Banter Blitz, so today is not the one and only chance you have. Don't worry if you cannot play today. Yes, I will play on my own channel later, so now I'm playing Banter Blitz here on Chess24, and I have a 7-day streamer challenge, which means that every day I have to stream on my own channel on Twitch. I'm not that happy about my piece play. I think I should regroup my pieces, because my bishop on e3 is not doing anything. The bishop on c4 is not that good either, and the knight on f3. The three together are not coordinating very well. That's what I'm trying to say here. How can I make them coordinate better? That's my question. Okay, I will play knight h4. I learned from my previous opponents. And then probably I will trade that bishop with bishop d3 and try to get the f5 square for my knight. And at 24/7, almost, it feels like that. So every day streaming is quite a big challenge for me. But I wanted to celebrate that my own channel has got a special status. So that's, whoa, counterattacking. So if I take on f5, he wants to take on c4. But first I can take on f7, and then I take your bishop on f5, which is a pawn up for me. I will not pre-move it just in case he moves the king and wants to give me the rook. But it didn't happen. Didn't happen. I like to have a pawn up. I think that's something you know about me. Black Mamba, if I got your challenge, let me check after the game, because now, at the moment, I'm trying not to lose on time again. I'm very focused on not losing on time again. How do I want to place my pieces? That's the question in general. This is a little weird, but I think first I will come back here and then bring the rooks. I like the knight on f5, but I didn't feel like it was a very solid square. I had to play queen d3 or queen c2 to protect it, which I didn't want. Now that I've done this, let's go rook d1. I'm losing my voice. That's great. It's always great when you lose your voice. I'm going for some trades because I have a pawn up. And now this is the return of the knight. Shall I go back to f5 immediately or first rook e1? I'm gonna go for rook e1 first. I will go for a challenge randomly, so I never pick a name on purpose. Of course, I try to appreciate everyone who is active in the chat, but it doesn't mean that I can promise a game to anyone, just so that you guys understand that I want to play against everyone, but it's just impossible to play against all of you at the same time. So please be patient. You will get a chance for sure sooner or later. I like this check a lot because the b6 knight is hanging. Yeah, Cobra is very fast. I should speed up. c4, he's gonna take on f3. F3, I mean e3. I'm saying f3 because I'm looking at f takes e3 at the same time. I'll take with the rook first. The problem is I don't have... Oh, he thought that I was threatening c5 check. He would have had queen d5. I was not winning a queen. Perhaps it was better to take with the pawn first. But this is now 2 pawns up. What I need to do is to hurry up. I will pre-move a capture. I think I should start pre-moving. It's a good idea to pre-move when you don't have time. But pre-moving is also dangerous. If it's not a capture, I pre-moved so many silly moves already in my life. A simultaneous mode for the future, I think that's a good suggestion. That is a good suggestion. Queen f4, the pawn is hanging, but I will take here. And then, is he threatening rook e2, or it's not that of a big deal? I'll come back just to prevent it. It's a bit passive, but I don't want rook e2 happening. Then I can push the pawn. d5. As Yasser would say. Yasser Sayravan, one of my favorite co-commentators. I like d5 because it's supported by my rook on d1, so the rook was in itself not so active on d1, but suddenly it's a very good piece. You want the rooks to be supporting the passed pawns from this position. So now he has to be blocking it with the queen. That's bad news for black. Still, I'm below on the clock, so I should hurry up. I should hurry up. How do I want to challenge that, actually? I want to find a way to kick that queen away from the d6 square. It's not so easy. Okay, let's get d5. I'm threatening rook e6. No, I'm not threatening rook e6 because I can get back rank mated. I should play g3 and then I'm threatening rook e6. He's tricky. He knows it. He knows it. He goes for king a6 because rook e6 would have been a blunder. Very tricky, Cobra. Yeah, that is the song I was referring to by Yasser Sayravan. He's got a single on YouTube that you can listen to. Okay, now this is just a check. I appreciate your draw offer, but I want to play for a win even if I don't have time. That's just my principle. If you have a better position, you should play for a win. It doesn't matter who is your opponent. Doesn't matter what's the time situation. Well, if you are completely lost on time, then that's too much of a risk. But if you are doing decently on the clock, try to win. You should be playing for a win if you have no, f4 was not good. I'm taking here. So yeah, if you have a better position, your obligation is to play for a win, even if you're playing against Garry Kasparov or Magnus Carlsen. What's this? Not understanding it. Okay, this was then a blunder. I thought you were trying to play for a stalemate, but still there are too many pieces, so it was just a simple blunder. Yeah, already here it was difficult because your king is weak and I'm 2 pawns up. Where did it go wrong for Cobra? The opening stage here. After knight h4, I'm not threatening with that much. You might just play bishop to e6 or bishop to g6. maybe you were afraid that I will take it. And you could have had this very funny pawn structure where you have 4 pawns. It's like a square. Very, very nice geometry here with the pawns. But it's not bad. It's protecting your king. Or if you don't like that, you can play bishop to e6. Now if I take here, you can straighten your pawn structure. Or take back with the rook if you want to keep it. But what I was aiming for with knight h4 is to get this f5 square for my knight. But it's not the end of the world if I can play it. Even a position like this is it's not so dangerous, even if I get there. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that in worst case scenario, I would land on f5 with my knight. I can either take your bishop or try to do something about this. I would need my queen here if I want to attack. So I need to play queen d1, queen g4 maneuvers if I want to attack the king, but just one piece will not do a miracle against the black king. So yeah, of course the knight is much better on f5 than on f3, but you didn't have to panic after knight h4. I think you just forgot that, yeah, counterattack is a good idea, but not when I have a check. I take a pawn with a check and then it was a pawn up for me, and your king is always weaker than my one. So that was mainly the problem here, knight h4 and not moving the bishop away. Let's go for one last game. I think I have time for one more game. One or maybe two, depends. Depends on how fast we are. Ooh, I'm going for a very scary handle, I think. Slayer Boxer. Nice to meet you, Slayer Boxer. I don't want to get slayed, so knight f3. Okay, I'll play d5. Actually, it's a tricky move order because it doesn't show your opponent yet what you are aiming for. So if you start with one knight f3, it can transpose to the English, it can transpose to Queen's Gambit type of positions, it can transpose to red, like even e4 openings if you get some kind of a King's Indian attack position. So yeah, this move order is tricky. That's why I always think. And since I don't know what my opponent plays normally, I don't know what he's aiming for. I don't know if he plays d4 here or d3 or b3. b3 was another option. But still he plays the Catalan. And then as the Catalan, I like the open Catalan that is taking on c4. This is main line in the Queen's... Why am I saying Queen's Catalan, not Queen's Indian or Queen's Gambit? I'm a little confused today about names. Bau, Oli, you are here. I don't know what was happening with that challenge. Because I did challenge you, but somehow you didn't get it. I don't know why is that. Rook t1 immediately? That's a bit strange. I would have thought that that's not one of the main moves. And I'm trying to figure out why is it not a main move. You know what? I'll go for b5. White cannot take it because the rook on a1 would be hanging. If a takes, the queen is hanging and the rook is hanging. I guess this is also 5 minutes plus 0. I don't know why I'm... Whoa, what is that? You want to give me a full rook or your queen? I was just explaining you should not take on b5. Oh, Oli is saying that I need to uncheck the option on inactivate after the latest update. Otherwise, YouTube events don't show up. I did not know that. Thank you for the information. I'll try to fix it for next time. This position is winning since both the queen and the rook are hanging. That's the whole point of b5. You can't take b5. Oli, then stay with us, because if I finish this game early, and I will still have one last opportunity for a game, then I think I can accept your challenge if you challenge me again, because I think you deserve it. Also, who was the other? I forgot usernames, but I know I would recognize the usernames too. Two of you were not here when I accepted your challenge. Hands up if you are the other one. Thank you, Slayer Boxer. Yeah, it's simply, this is a trick in this opening, that with the queen on c4, I can always push b5. You cannot take this. You have to go back with the queen. But then this is a little annoying. The main moves are bishop moves mainly. Bishop f4, bishop g5. Those are the main moves. Anyway, it was a fun game. I think I will go quickly for a new one before it's too late, because then I need to have dinner before I start my own stream on my own channel. So, Ollie, I promise you that if you are challenging me again, I will accept it. Let me see. Ollie, are you among the challengers? If I don't see your name, it's difficult to accept it. I don't see you, Ollie. That's a problem. Then it will have to be next time, Ollie, because I don't see you on the list. And then it's unfair with the rest of the people if I wait until others could have had a chance. So I'm sorry, Ollie, but it will have to be next time. It will have to be next time. Yes, nice to meet you. Very difficult to pronounce your handle for me. Well, we are transposing into the French defense. I like it. Same variation as in the first game where I got crushed with bishop takes f6 in that game. I don't like taking the pawn. This is a pawn sacrifice variation, but I do prefer just simply trading bishops on e7. Thank you, Oliver, for sending the info to the streamers. I didn't realize it. It's my bad. I didn't know that I had to untick that box. I just updated everything in XSplit as usual. I didn't realize that there's a difference. So apologies. It's my mistake then if I didn't realize that it was not working with YouTube. I can take back on c5 immediately or play knight c6 first. I do like knight c6 because it's flexible. I can still decide whether to take on c5 with the queen or with the knight. So if he plays bishop to d3, it makes sense for me to take with the knight. I mean, still queen takes is good as well. So actually both. Which one I like more here? Knight. And then I can play with f6 too. So I want to undermine the center. This is the typical strategy in this French defense. I have less space, but I want to undermine white's center. I can take on d3, but I'm not in a hurry with that move. So I will go for f6. I want to undermine this center, attack the f4 pawn. If he takes on f6, queen takes f6. Yeah, that's the link to my Twitch channel. This is my own channel, and I am on, as I mentioned, I stream now every day because I was crazy enough to go for this challenge where you are challenged to stream every single day. So it's quite difficult, to be honest. Today is day 3 for me, but I think by the end of the 7 days, one thing for sure is that I will be faster. It's difficult to be as slow as I am. So I will definitely improve my time management with so many Blitz games. Thank you, Oliver, for suggesting that everyone should follow my channel. Thank you. Very kind of you. I'm simply developing this bishop. Later in the future, it could come to e8 and h5. And actually, the later in the future could possibly be right now as well. But at the same time, once again, it's opposite side castling. And what do we know about that? Well, we know that you should attack. So I will push a6, b5, b4. It's not like a very aggressive pawn storm, but I already have the c file as a semi-open file. g4, my opponent is doing the same, which is what he should do. But I'm looking at this f3 knight, it's a little bit loose. Do I have any? I could take on f3 and take on e5. It's an exchange sacrifice that I'm considering. I don't think it's that good. But those are moves that you should look at for sure. d4 is also in the air sometimes. Is it a moment for moves like that? Or just simply rook f4 and double rooks on the f file. Maybe suddenly I will play on the f file and on the king side instead of the queen side, because I want to challenge my opponent's aggressiveness. Aggressiveness, that's not a word. Aggressive play. Perhaps this is what he should do, but I feel like I could get something, at least on the f file. When is my next tournament? I'm not going to play in the near future. I don't play professionally anymore. My last tournament was the Isle of Man in October, and actually I'm not planning to play in the near future. I play online now, but tournaments, no. I usually go to tournaments as a commentator, and I now focus on commentary more than playing. I guess you guys have realized that now. That's my priority. Queen f7 I'm looking at, but then g6 will push my queen back. Although if I'm forcing him to play g6, it means that at least he's not opening the king side, because g takes h6 is a big threat in this position. So let's do that. Let's go queen f7. Yeah, this is what I was telling you guys about. Now either queen e7 or queen e8. So my queen is pushed back. I can later take on d3. Maybe queen e8 made somewhat more sense now that I'm thinking. Just trying to get this g6 pawn. But at the same time, I don't mind so much that the pawn is on g6. It takes squares away from me, but it keeps the king side closed. So he could not open the g file because the f3 knight was hanging. He didn't have time for g takes h6. The next Isle of Man I will be at, but as a commentator. So that's something that by now I think I can say it, that I will be at the Isle of Man tournament, but as a commentator. Knight takes e5, queen takes c5, but knight d4, he takes, then rook takes f1. I love it. I love it. Also knight takes d3 was an option, of course, but knight d4 looks like just a very powerful move because of the f1 rook hanging. Knight takes, rook takes, I will take on, or d3. Shall I take on d3 first? Perhaps I'm not winning anything, even though it looks like very suspicious for white. But no, I feel like there should be something. So let's calculate a little. Let's take this one because it's defending on f1. So I will get rid of this bishop. How can I win a piece on the f file? There's a pin, so I would need to attack it with one more piece. And that should be the bishop. I will take on f3 and then push d4. Although knight e4 will still block the diagonal. No, not anymore. Now I can take. I'll take and then push d4. Although, no, I'm doing it in the wrong way. Now he can take on f4 first. I'm completely messing it up. I'm mixing things up. I think it's still interesting, but I should have had something more. I should have had something more than this. I mixed it up. I wanted so much this d4 pawn push that I sacrificed in exchange for nothing. No good. It's not good. It is still interesting because if he moves the knight, I can play knight d2 check, but now I'm playing for winning material back instead of winning a piece. I'm pretty sure I have missed some tactics before. That's why I am Miss Strategy and Sopico is Miss Tactics. If he takes on f4, I will take the rook, rook f8 check, takes, 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 takes. In the end, I have a bishop and he has no pieces. That is my calculation there. Okay, now I will just take this one. And what's the end? In the end, we will be just equal. No, I have something. Do I have something? I don't have time. That I see. Do I have something apart from the no time? Oh, no, I can't take because of queen f7. Very careful. Anna, be careful. Oh my, I almost missed mating too. Queen f7 check. Oh, now the g6 pawn is very annoying. I can't take. Okay, b5 is horrible. Mate, queen a8, mate. Mate. He didn't play it. Okay, I'm completely lost still because my king is so bad. My king is horrible, but there was mate on the board. Queen a8. I'll try to escape with the king now, but it's just a very bad position for me. Let's try to trade queens. Whoa, this is horrible. It's mate on the board. Free move, but I don't think he will take it. Why would he? Okay, I'm lost because it's mate in 2 moves. I will resign. Okay, I even lost on time. I was going to resign, yes, just as a matter of fact. Wow, this game was crazy. I was so focused on winning a piece that I missed that I'm not winning anything. In this position, bishop to c6. My idea is to take here. So let's just make a random move. My idea is to take and open up this diagonal. Still there's knight e4, but after moving the knight, I thought, okay, this is my moment. But no, it's not working. I should take... How shall I do this? I shall take with the rook. If he takes back, now I take with the knight. But no, because rook takes f8 is a check. This is not winning anything either. How do I win a piece here? I was so sure I'm winning material in this position and then I just lost material. Yes, congratulations. It was a difficult position for you because everything was pinned, but you managed to get out of it. How is this position winning? Maybe I was not winning. That's so weird. Or this position too. I mean, in worst case I could have taken. Worst case. I wanted more than taking here. I could have taken everything and then get the pawn. But with the g6 pawn on the board, this is dangerous. Queen f7 again. No, this is bad for me. I mean, even if I don't get mated, after taking on g7, I have to try to give perpetual because this g pawn is too strong. So I'm not sure. The engine would definitely tell me if I could have won material, because it looks like there's something. There's this pin on the f5, knight d4. Maybe taking immediately, but what's the difference if he takes back with a pawn? I'm not sure. Why is this not winning? I don't know. Does anyone know in the chat? If not, I will have to say goodbye because I need to have dinner before I go live again on my channel on Twitch. So yeah, I guess I will have this position in my mind. You guys are right that this is the kind of position that I will dream with until I solve it. I will need to solve it. I don't know what's happening. Bad bishop for sure, but apart from that, I have very active pieces. So in this position, I should be more than fine. But I wanted to win immediately. I wanted some tactical motives and it didn't work. I just allowed the capture of my rook. And even after that, I mean, yeah, the problem is this queen endgame is bad for me because of the g6 pawn. It's passive. My king is passive. I cannot activate my queen because it's always mating too. So yeah, the queen endgame is better for white. Probably a winning queen endgame. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in to this Banter Blitz session. I hope to play better in the next one because this was, to be honest, quite a poor performance by me. I'm trying to play faster, I'm still very slow. And the tactics, I need to call Sopiko and ask her, how was I winning? How was it winning for black? Could I win a piece? Could I not win a piece? I will need to call her. So I guess I will see you guys next week, but I'm not sure if it's Tuesday. Stay tuned for the announcements, stay tuned for the schedule, and I will be back on one of the coming days next week. But as I have mentioned, I should go and have dinner before I go live again, and it's my 7-day streamer challenge. So if you want to join me there, you are very welcome. If not, I will see you next week here on Chess24. Have a great week and enjoy the US Chess Championship starting tomorrow. Bye bye.